What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? It is us. Finish the keg. I am Noah. And you are?
Walsh at your disposal.
Yeah. As you can see, I got myself a fancy cup too.
Dude, that thing looks like was made in the 40s or something like that.
It's definitely interesting. Shout out to Stan. Stan brought it over. He thought it was interesting. So
Antique.
until I get something myself. Until I get something for myself, because you got that horn. So.
Oh, so you just wanna be different. That's what it is.
I have to be. That's part of who you are, and I gotta find something that's part of me. I just haven't found it yet.
That makes it look like you go fishing. When's the last time you even held a fishing pole?
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Do you
That's
even
why I
know
said.
half of those fish on there, bro?
That one says trout.
Oh,
I'm guessing that's a bonefish. Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Oh, we got some pike.
Well, at least you can read.
Of course I can. But for today, we had.
Tonight.
I was going through our comments and stuff on some of our old episodes, and even getting comments from people outside.
Dude, yeah, I've gotten more people walk up to me in person, and they're like
asking
about
us. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, they're like, man, I saw this, and I saw it on so and so's Snapchat, and they tagged you or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's crazy because like a lot of the messages that I've gotten personally, it's not even the messages on the account. Finish the keg. It's like my personal account.
Yeah.
Talking about it. There, a lot of people are watching not the newest episode, but a lot of people like the conspiracy theories one, and then the first one. And I was like, dude, the first one we're just being goofy.
Yeah, we were just bullshitting on that one.
Yeah, just bullshit. That's a normal fucking Tuesday conversation for us.
But that's how I want this to be, though. I literally want this to be three dudes who just hang out, who drink, just having normal ass conversations with people, who want to listen to it.
You were mentioning earlier that you got a private message, a request.
Yes, so I got a request. I got a DM on our social account, our podcast social account, and then I got confronted in person while I was out and about.
AKA the bar.
Yeah, bro, there ain't nothing else to do in this damn town. What do you expect? It was about...
Okay, Misty, you know who's still your favorite. Haven't been to the bar in a month since I walk in.
Hey, shut up, bro. Shut up. No need to be a show-off. It was about... the question was about if we watched anime and what our favorite anime was. So I figured I couldn't answer for myself at the time, and I'm definitely not going to answer for you. So I figured we'd make it an episode, and I know you know a lot about that more than I do, so I figured
I love it. Hell yeah.
Whoever
did it, whoever asked for it, recommended it, hell yeah. I definitely get from like middle school, high school, even in my adult life, people stereotype me as, the big dumb jock or the goofy guy, and definitely not a nerd. I'm an undercover nerd. Love anime. I've watched anime since I think it was 5th grade in elementary school. One of my very, very close friends all throughout school, Anthony Tran, he introduced me and another buddy of mine who we used to just raid parks and just have wild adventures, 4 a.m. sneak out the house, go to 7-Eleven, shit like that. But Anthony introduced me to anime, and bro, ever since then, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
He first started me on manga.
What is that? Is that like the book?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically it's kind of like a comics, like what we have.
Yeah.
Just with anime.
Well, okay. So then what? Okay, so then what's the difference between an anime and just like a normal ass animated cartoon?
Oh, okay. This is like a heated discussion among, people who truly have appreciation for the anime art or even manga and stuff. Basically, what I've been told and and the conventions that I've been to and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an anime has a specific like animation or grouping, and almost all of them now, I guess you could say, are from Japan or Japanese producers, right? So I know you like Rick and Morty.
I do.
Right? That is a cartoon. That's an adult cartoon.
Because
it's not from Japan. And it doesn't have the Japanese format. So you, like, the other side of the coin is a lot of people say that anime first comes out in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like the sub and dub. So sub is subtitles.
Yeah,
dub
yeah.
is, dubbed over English. There's also that argument where anime comes out in Japanese and has subtitles,
Mm-hmm.
and then turns into dub way later.
Okay.
Right? And so with Rick and Morty, it was all published and aired in English.
Okay.
So it's not from Japan. It doesn't have any Japanese producers or anything like that. It doesn't have an anime studio that put it out there. So it's an adult cartoon. So now there is one exception. One exception. Did you ever, when you were younger, watch Avatar: The Last Airbender on Nickelodeon?
Yeah, it's a dude with the blue arrow down his whole head, right?
Yeah. And it's all about elements, and there's different nations.
Yeah,
and
fire, water, earth, and wind. Yeah.
Yeah. On that day, the Fire Nation attacked. Shit like that. So that grew so popular so fast in the United States, and it's an amazing storyline. The lessons within the storyline, I mean, they hit everything from poverty to corrupt governments to hate crimes to just like social work, how to be honorable.
Just in this one show?
All in this one show, dude. Literally, that is one thing. If I ever had a kid, that would be the show that I would show them because, dude, there's so many underlining lessons. I mean, we all watch, different cartoons when we're growing up and stuff, and we don't realize, for instance, like how, like, fucked up some of them were.
Yeah.
Like I saw this meme where it was Ed, Edd and Eddy, no, it was Tom and Jerry, and it was the rooster had Jerry. Wait, who's the cat? Is that
Tom.
Jerry? Oh, Tom. He had Tom.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. I got you. All right. So the rooster had him in a horse bit and was shoving like a long item up his ass while pulling on the horse bit, and then had his foot, or it was like mounting him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We watched that shit, didn't even recognize that. We're just like, oh man, he's getting mounted like a horse, it's funny or whatever. And then we rewatch it as an adult and we're like, yo, what the fuck kind of BDSM bullshit is this?
A sexual innuendo.
Exactly. So Avatar: The Last Airbender, when I rewatched it as an adult, I was like, damn, this shit is like actually deep.
Yeah.
Like if you pay attention, like fuck, and it's the whole show's like that. But anyways, Avatar: The Last Airbender is the only exception because it was made by Nickelodeon Studio, and it grew so popular in Japan
Mm-hmm.
that an anime studio in Japan took it and made it in Japanese, and then re-aired it in Japan.
Oh.
So it's the only cartoon to be considered now an anime. It started off as a cartoon, then it became an anime because a Japanese anime studio.
So as long as a Japanese studio
Mm-hmm.
creates a cartoon per se,
Right.
that's what makes it an anime?
Right.
Got it.
By technical definition. Now, there's also like anime, like for instance, like Castlevania on Netflix.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good show, lots of action, very funny. The lead character, he's hilarious. That is technically an anime,
Mm-hmm.
but it was also produced in America, but by a Japanese producer. So it was like, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like nowadays, it's not as black and white as it was whenever I started reading manga and getting into anime and stuff like that.
Got it.
Yeah. And also, I whenever I first started, I preferred to read the manga than watch the anime because I was a slow reader. So like, there's they're talking really fast in the anime, and I'm like, fuck.
Well, by the time the show comes out, right? Like, where you're able to actually watch the show, all the mangas are out, right?
Yes, yeah. So it's a lot like Marvel. The manga comes out way before the show's even aired and put into animation and everything. Like for instance, what is it? Jujutsu Kaisen is a fairly new one. I think it came out either last year or year before last. The manga is like way ahead of where the anime is. Mm-hmm. But the anime only has 2 seasons, and one of the seasons is a prequel to the first season.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? So like if you were to read the manga, you could get all the way like way deep into the anime before it even comes out.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only.
That's kind of lame.
Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks, especially because a lot of animes, the episodes are only where if you take out the intro, the outro, it's really only like 15 minutes long. 20 minutes is like a longer anime, right? Mm-hmm. And usually there's only 10 episodes per season. Yeah. And so it's like, and then it takes a year or two. Like for instance, Attack on Titan.
I've watched that one. That's a good one. I like that one.
So you have seen it. I think from the first season to the second season, or second season to the third season, there was like a 2.5 year gap.
Yeah.
It took.
Yeah, I think so.
Forever, dude. Forever. So
I thought it was longer, but yeah, it may have been that long.
I mean, it could have been longer than that. But my whole point is this. That's what kind of sucks about watching anime, because it takes so fucking long for them to create it. But then when it comes out, you're like, that was well worth the wait. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah, but in the manga, you've already read what happened by the time it comes out. Oh.
Yeah. Well, it's way easier to draw it on paper and then, publish it compared to you have to you have to make it into an animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of fucked up that sentence.
Yeah, words are hard. Like you say, words are hard. No, but do you have like a specific, like, do you have like a favorite one? Like, do you have like a favorite anime that you watch like consistently?
Right now, okay, so
because I watch a few, I just don't watch them like religiously or anything.
Oh, I do. As soon as them episodes drop, I got a notification on my phone, everything.
You got one?
Whoop. Actually, I have a couple right now, and I kind of like to find anime that releases their seasons at different times, so I always have an anime to watch.
Got it. Okay.
So, like, right now, probably, like, my top 3, if I were to narrow it down to the top 3, would be, and this is in order from worst to best or best to worst, Demon Slayer.
Okay.
For sure. The new season's about to drop, and it looks sick. And they also changed the game when it comes to animation, man. It is crazy. So, Demon Slayer, for sure. One Piece. It took me a long time to get into it, and there's a lot of like, stereotypes like, oh man, if you watch One Piece, you're this, you're that. Only because it has over 1,200 episodes.
That's the one with the pirate dude.
Yeah.
The pirate gang, right?
Yeah.
100?
Huh?
100?
12?
Yeah, 1,200.
1,200 episodes. Yeah, a lot of episodes. I was really into anime, and other people that I know that give me show recommendations and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like they're like, oh dude, yeah, it is very, very long. It took me, I'll say this, it took me a year and a half, no, 2 years to catch up to where now I'm watching the episodes as they come out.
No, fuck that.
2 years.
Nope.
See, and a lot of people, they don't like to commit to that, and they're like, no. Even me, whenever I was a fan of anime and I had, Crunchyroll and all that stuff, I was like, man, that's a long, and then Joseph, Joseph was like, I'm telling you, I think you would like it based off of all the other ones you like. He's like, but also no, this came out in, I think, the late 80s, early 90s, so the animation looks goofy as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, but the storyline, because I appreciate anime for one, a lot of the authors there's an underlining message.
Okay.
Or a principle that they're trying to teach or something like that, right?
Uh-huh.
And you kind of live through whoever the main character is or a couple of characters. And because of my appreciation of that, Joseph was like, dude, you would like it. Just try it. It is intimidating to look at 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
But just try it. And whenever I was in LA in my hotel, I was like, oh, there's that One Piece thing. You know what? Fuck it. And I always do this when someone gives me a recommendation. If y'all have any recommendations, recommend it to me, and then I'll reply to your comment how I think about it or whatever. But when anybody gives me a recommendation, I always try the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And then if I'm not interested, not interested.
I think that's reasonable. The first 3. I would even go. I'd go 4 because like we were talking about off camera. I don't know a lot about anime. I just watch it. I watch a few.
Yeah.
Like you brought up Demon Slayer. You actually got me into that one.
Yeah. And I didn't even have to go to the second episode. That was just the first episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And honestly, where that anime is now, that first episode was kind of slow, but it hooked you just enough where you're like, let me try the second one, and then the second one gives you a little bit more story, not a lot of action, and then you watch that third one, you're like, oh, this is
yeah. By the third and fourth one, I was already hooked.
Yeah.
But, no, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, I always do the first 3, and then if I'm on the fence, I might do the 4th episode. But usually by the first 3, I can kind of determine, like B-Stars.
I don't know what that is.
It's a drama anime, and instead of humans, everybody's like animals, kind of like Zootopia. But it's about this wolf who falls in love with this rabbit, and they're both in like prep school or like, fancy ass like boarding school or some shit. And
this sounds weird already.
Dude, like literally, this girl tried to recommend it to me, and then we're having like a little cookout at the house, and she was there. I was playing video games in my room. I was being antisocial as shit. She got in there and she was like, "Have you watched it? I was like, "No, that sounds fucking weird." Because I like the action. Give me some brutality, Somebody,
I can do an anime with a story, but like you threw me off with a wolf and a rabbit.
Falling in love in high school bullshit drama and it's
the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, like you figure it out pretty quick, and then it's literally like Degrassi, but animals. That's essentially what it is. I mean, literally. And I watched the first episode with her because she wouldn't get out of my room, and I was like, if I fucking watch the first episode, like I said, it's only like 15 minutes long. I was like, I can endure 15 minutes. I was like, if I watch that, will you get out of my room? And she was like, yes. So I put it on. 10 minutes into it, didn't even finish the episode. I stopped it and I was like, yeah, this is trash. I was like, you might like this kind of anime, I don't. And there's also another thing that I like about anime is for everybody. If you like criminal investigation or murder mystery shit, there's a whole genre of anime that just does that.
Oh yeah.
If you like the future tech like Star Wars shit, Cowboy Bebop.
That's a good
one. You like the feudal Japan, samurai type stuff. Hell's Paradise. Like, there's literally anything you can think of. There's romance, there's horror, there's action, there's drama, anything you can think of. Like, there's even one about a high school volleyball team. I think Haiku or something like that. I don't know. But it's just about this volleyball team in high school and how they go for the championship and shit.
I've heard of one with basketball.
Yeah.
It's like men's basketball. What the fuck is it called? I finished it a while back. It was on Netflix. Kuroku's basketball. They all have like special abilities. One can like shoot threes from any range.
Yeah.
One can cross somebody over. Stuff like that. What is that? Oh, is that the volleyball one?
Yeah. What's the name of it? Oh yeah.
You do that.
Haiku. That's the name of it. That the CN high school boys volleyball team. The anime and the manga is called Haiku.
Oh.
I think that's the main character's name. A lot of animes, like, see, that's another thing. A lot of people who've never watched anime or anything, they get almost like
That's weird. It's a boys volleyball team?
yeah.
Huh.
But like a lot of people who start to get into anime, and I recommend this to anybody who's trying to get into it or, thinking about it, don't let the name fool you. And don't be intimidated if it's like straight in a foreign language. Because some of those are some of the best, but they're not really talked about.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I've seen a few animes, like I said. I've seen a few. I've come to terms that, like, when I watched Attack on Titan, that it sounded better. It sounded better in Japanese with the subtitles than it did in English. There were certain scenes where, like, the whole speech and everything, it would sound better in Japanese than it would in English.
Have you finished it?
I have not.
Have you gotten to the point where they attack the Beast Titan?
Spoilers.
I guess it's been out.
Yeah, they all. Yeah, that came out like a year or two ago.
Stan's got a point, but whatever. Okay. I'll tell you this: I've gotten to the point to where the main character, Aaron.
Yeah.
He's in his full. Like, I guess he had gotten killed but transformed. He had just escaped the realm where the chick was in the sand.
Okay,
he was able to get all the colossal titans from the wall to cross over to the other side.
So do you remember Commander Irwin's speech?
Mm-hmm. Well, which one?
Where he's like, "My soldiers will not buckle or yield.
Oh, yeah,
My soldiers will rage."
Yeah.
Hearing, like, in English, it's badass. But in Japanese, dude, it just hit different. Like, yeah, because I watched Attack on Titan as it was coming out in Japanese before the dub, and I was just like, man, I was reading the subtitles, and I was like, man, that was powerful. And then when I heard it in English, I was like, man, I hope this has the same delivery, and it did, and I was like, ooh, that's rare.
Yeah.
Whenever it does that, like for instance, Dragon Ball Z, dude, whoever voices Goku sounds like a 12-year-old girl in the dub version, the Japanese version. Like, whenever he starts yelling for 3 fucking episodes, I'm not a fan of Dragon Ball. When he starts yelling for 3 episodes straight just to power up and shit, like that. For one, if I wanted to hear just straight yelling, I would go to a heavy metal or screamo concert and probably enjoy it 10 times more than fucking him just. And then whoever voices his character in the dub version, the Japanese version, it literally sounds, to me at least, it sounds like a 12-year-old girl at a Taylor Swift concert. You know what I'm saying?
Screaming.
Just screaming. But then you if you watch it in the dub version in English, it's so much better. I think the voice actors and almost all the characters in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Kai, whichever Dragon Ball, I think the voice actors in English it just fits better.
See, okay, so we're on Dragon Ball Z. One thing I don't like about Dragon Ball Z, because I kind of grew up when that was kind of showing on TV. Like, I thought it was just cartoons, per se. Like, back when it was showing on Cartoon Network, when Cartoon Network was like OG.
Oh, what was Toonami?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay.
Dude,
so
Toonami, man.
When it showed on there...
Pause. Sidebar. I fucking miss Toonami. Dude, that was so... most people when they were kids, they get home and they're looking forward to, like, fucking Ed, and Eddie or, some dumb shit like that. Me, I loved Toonami, and that was what I looked forward to every fucking night. And then if my parents went to sleep, right after Toonami was Adult Swim. So I was like, what's up?
Yeah, Adult Swim was OG. But they had like 7 or 8 different fucking... there's the OG Spaceman, the DJ. Yeah.
But what was his name?
Don't ask me, I don't know. Do not ask me. I don't think he had a name. He was just...
You have the power of Google on your side. That's Tsunami.
I typed in Toonami and it automatically corrected. Chill out. Because there's not an actual word for Toonami.
It's
Toonami.
See.
Hang on, let's see if it actually...
Pardon Stan, everybody who's watching. You know, he's one of them country boys that he was in the woods, you know, hunting deer and shit. Yeah, he
got you. Toonami. He did get you.
Well, yeah, Tom. Because he was Toonami Operations Module. Yeah, Tom.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because dude, every time he showed up, he's like,
"We're hating
What's
on
up,
Stan
guys?
tonight."
This is Tom. Welcome to Toonami tonight. Here's the lineup." And like, he was always just so chill, and just like, it sounded like you were listening to a radio station, not watching, TV.
Yeah. No.
Anyways, back to your Dragon Ball Z.
They had like 8 different fucking versions of the show.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I remember Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT. Then there was one that came out. It was like Dragon Ball Z, and then it said like Kakarot at the bottom.
Kai.
Is that what it is? Kai?
Yeah.
And then just Dragon Ball.
So Dragon Ball came out in probably around the same time as One Piece. Like, I think early 90s, late 80s.
Okay.
Dragon Ball, the reason why they made Dragon Ball Z, the episodes are cut down. So instead of 3 episodes of Goku just screaming his fucking head off and having a brain aneurysm, they cut it down to like, just 5 minutes of him just straight screaming. You see what I'm saying?
But they made a whole new show based on that?
No, it's the exact same show, storyline. They redid the animation
to make it look better. So then why is one called Dragon Ball and the other one's called Dragon Ball Z?
It's like the new generation.
Oh, okay.
Like Generation X, Millennials, Generation Z. It's kind of like
Generation
that.
F.
Yeah, because when Dragon Ball first came out...
For what?
For fucked.
Generation fucked.
Yeah, when Dragon Ball first came out, I mean, it was huge. Like, there's statues in Japan of, like, One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball... Like, in these,
really?
Yeah, these statues look like leaders of the country. Like,
hey, can you Google that, Stan?
Yeah, it's insane, and it's not just like in one area. Like, anime is Japan's like big thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what it is. Going from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z is basically just shortening the episodes where it's more user friendly. So it has shorter seasons. The episodes have more content instead of just... And that was the one thing that I didn't really like about Dragon Ball is the fight scenes. They would move so fast where you'd see them throw one punch and then they're like...
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell, man?
Well, I kind of grew...
Oh, that's in the Philippines. I think...
That's like in front of a store?
Yeah. Look up images of Japan anime district.
They have a whole district in Japan just based off anime?
Yes. And it's like literally clothing stores.
Oh, shit.
That literally, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's like New York, but instead of business and Wall Street and shit, it's just
That's dope
anime.
as fuck. Yeah, that's dope as fuck.
And even like some of the restaurants, when you walk into them, it looks like the inside is exactly how they look in the anime or the manga. And they have the same... like food items on their menu.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it's a whole like district.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's dope as shit.
Like any anime you could ever think of, it's represented in that entire district. And it's super cool. Yeah, but yeah, they have like I think the most recent statue that they put up was a One Piece statue because One Piece got freaking huge when it got on Netflix. Up a little bit more. Right there, that like bronze looking statue. That's Monkey D. Luffy. Yeah.
That's the main guy from that One Piece show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, that's dope as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they clean the leaves right around just the statue.
Oh yeah, and
Sorry, I have a landscaping company and shit, so.
I have a
no, that's funny.
I have a buddy who lives in Japan now, and he was telling me because he sent me a picture of it. and he was telling me you're not allowed to climb on it. You can like kind of hover your hand over it, but they don't like you touching it. And it's not like there's a security guard standing there, but the locals will check your ass quick.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like it's a big deal to them. It's a cultural thing. Kind of like NASCAR and rednecks.
I don't think that's the same.
I mean, it's pretty close. Pretty close. But yeah, there's a lot of new ones coming out too. But I wanted to mention Hell's Paradise to you. So
What is that?
So it is an anime. Hell's Paradise. It is fairly new. Only one season has come out, released so far. It is dark and pretty fucked up, right? Very, very gory. If you don't like gore, blood, arms, heads being chopped off and stuff.
What's the basis?
Feudal Japan.
Okay.
There's an island off of Japan's coast that is called Hell's Paradise. And on that island has an elixir of eternal life. So the shogun of Japan employed executioners, right? Because in feudal Japan, there was an actual like career field where all you did was execute people.
Right.
Right. He employed these executioners to go find the most ruthless killers, the worst of worst criminals, like just bad dudes,
Yeah. Can I get another beer stand?
Mm-hmm. Me too. But he gets them all together, and then he gives them this mission. If they go to the island and they find the elixir of life, they get off scot-free. They can come back and their sentence is gone, essentially.
If they find this elixir.
And they bring it back.
Right.
And then they also, whatever executioner found them is assigned to them, and if they deviate from the path, the executioner can just execute them.
Huh.
So they get on this island, and they don't get a lot of information, and lo and behold, the shogun has already sent like 2 or 3 regiments of armies onto this island to find this elixir. And none of them have come back. No.
Hey.
So, but the show is all based around this ninja assassin dude.
Who's on the island?
Well, they find him as they're trying to execute him.
Got it.
But they can't. So one of the execution methods, they tied his legs and arms, like his right side to a bull, his other side to a bull
to pull him.
Yeah, and his body was so strong they couldn't rip him apart. So then they try to burn him.
Oh wow.
Well, because of his like ninjutsu and stuff like that, like fire didn't affect him. So then they try to cut off his head, and the blade breaks on his neck.
What
he
the
flexes
hell?
his neck, right? So the story's all about this dude, and he really doesn't care to live.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He literally is like trying to help them. Like there's one part where they all get spears and arrows and stuff, and he was like, aim for in between my ribs. Trying to help him kill him, execute him.
Yeah.
So this executioner finds him, convinces him, you could go scot-free, blah, blah, blah. And this dude, he's a trained killer from, you don't really get too much into his backstory, but from this clan that they literally beat your body into a machine and take away all of your emotions, your compassion, your sympathy, just a killer with certain techniques and skills.
Right.
Right. So they get on this island, and the island is weird. Like there's different creatures. Like Stan, pull up a video. Just pull up Hell's Paradise fight scene. And the creatures there's giants, there's small ones, everything. But if you get stung by one of the little bees or whatever, you turn into a plant from the inside out.
That's cool.
And then also when
instantly or over time?
No, instantly.
Oh wow.
And then of course you get all these killers, and you tell them whoever finds it first, they all get on the island at the same time. A lot of them started killing the competition off.
They started killing each other.
Yeah. Instead of trying to find the elixir. What fight is this? That's the god.
That's another one?
No, it's the same one.
Oh, there's sound. Okay, so we have the guy that they can't kill. Then who's the Ronald McDonald looking guy?
That's one of the gods on the island. So he's on the island trying to find the elixir, and he found basically the entryway to the palace of where the gods live.
Okay, and then who was that rock guy that they just showed? A different god too?
No, that was the same one.
He's like a Wolverine kind of dude.
Yeah, they regenerate. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, they can also change their gender, so they can go from male to
what
female.
the fuck?
Yeah. But they use like the nature's energy and focus it for their attacks.
Huh. And this is that Hell's Paradise show?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see,
What
I mean,
the
it's just,
hell?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
get
nuts.
into it, dude. And then you learn more about Gabimaru and his backstory and why he's trying to find the elixir and.
And this is on what? Crunchyroll?
Crunchyroll. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be a mooch and get your information.
Got
See if
you,
I can
bro.
get into that.
Okay.
It looks dope. No, that looks dope.
It's good. I mean, and that's just one of the ones that are more recent. I mean, that's a newer one. I mean, One Piece right now, the manga is way further than where One Piece is in the anime. But dude, One Piece right now is just going crazy.
Nope, I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try.
Tell you, man. Well, start off with like the ones that only have 3 or 4 seasons. You know, that are easier to follow, and then so it's funny like during quick parts or fast dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Even me as a slow reader, I'm still a slow reader to this day. Sometimes I have to like reread, like if it's something, super important, like a contract or agreement or whatever, I have to reread it, once or twice just to make sure that I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
But whenever you start watching the subtitles, like me, I focus more on the subtitles and just use my peripherals, but now I literally just stare at the very middle of the screen and can watch and then also read at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get used to it, and a lot of people don't like that, and I'm like, well, they also have English versions.
Well, okay, so then let me ask you this too, since you know a bit about anime. What's the difference between like in the timeline for the shows than when they do like movies and stuff?
What do you mean?
Like you say, like with One Piece, there's like 1,200 episodes and stuff, and it's going to continue and whatever, right? On Netflix, there's like little hour 50 minutes, 2-hour movies about this anime show.
Right.
Like I've seen a few movies of One Piece where they go like it's like one basic mission, but it's a movie. Are those like sidebars because they have to catch up with the animation, or those like?
A lot of them, yes.
Are they canon or?
It really just depends on the anime. I know every movie for One Piece is just a side story. It's just entertainment. It has nothing to do with the main story or anything like that.
Right, because I know like growing up, like Pokemon had a fuck ton, where like you'd watch the basic show and then they'd come out with like a random ass movie for Netflix.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think Pokemon is kind of the same. Like all the movies are just basically entertainment and filler.
Right.
Right. But there are also some animes where they come out with, for instance, Demon Slayer. There's a whole movie called, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, the Mugen Train, Mugen Train.
Uh-huh.
And it's not even a season, it's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't watch that movie and you see a certain character that played a major role in that movie, in the very next season, it's confusing.
Okay.
Right? You're like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, why is he so important to Tanjiro, who's the main character? You're just like, what the fuck? I don't get this. But if you go back and you watch the movie, you're like, oh shit. And the movie's really, really good. So there are some animes where the movies actually play into the story. And then there's some like, Naruto, One Piece, and there's a few others where it's just filler, just entertainment.
Okay. I didn't know, so I thought I'd ask.
Yeah.
You mentioned Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
That was another big one that I had. That was actually nerdy when I was growing up. It was actually nerdy to watch that show.
Dude.
But like by the time I graduated, it was all like in style and stuff. That's it's not karate, is it? Where they all have like different styles of fighting. There's like clans and stuff. They eat like the ramen noodles.
Yeah, I mean, so Naruto is a huge diverse anime.
Yeah.
Not as diverse as like One Piece, but basically it's in this world of ninjas, and ninjas have certain powers, and depending on your inner energy, what you're more capable of using. So there's like the fire element, wind, lightning, earth, and stuff like that, right?
Don't they have a character that's based off of Bruce Lee?
Yes, his name's Rock Lee.
His name's Rock Lee. He's like in this green. What is it? Like a sweater?
No, it's a green onesie.
Oh, it's a onesie. He's got like the little bowl cut.
Yes, yes. So yeah, when I actually hated Rock Lee. So that was the first manga and anime that Anthony, my boy who got me into it, showed me.
Okay.
When Rock Lee made his appearance, I fucking hated him. He was just goofy.
Yeah.
And just like he just, it almost felt like he had like a stick up his ass the whole time. But then when later on, actually during that same training arc, that same season, he fights Gaara of the Sand.
Yeah, that's the dude with the pot, right?
Yeah, it's a giant gourd full of sand.
I was gonna actually bring that up because isn't that's like a famous fight scene where he's like asking, "Can I take the ankle weights off now?"
Oh no, he doesn't ask. He fights with them on.
Yeah.
And then his mentor says, "Lee, take them off."
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you sure, master?" And he's like, "Yes, Lee. You have my permission." And he like always winks and shit.
Yeah.
And so that's when he gets on top of the Buddha statue, and then.
Can you pull that up? Can you pull that up, Stan? That fight scene?
Oh, dude, it's awesome. But once that happens, you're like, oh shit! Like he's actually powerful.
Yeah.
Like he could do some things.
Well, no, because I remember there's the part where he takes them off and he drops them. Mm-hmm. And like a side character says, "What are a few ankle weights gonna do?" And then they drop, and it's like a big ass fucking
Tamura, who was part of Gaara's team, was like, What about taking those little weights off will help you? And then it hits as boom.
Yeah, like they're heavy as fuck.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Gaara had like all his career being a ninja, and even when he was a kid, no one has ever put a hand on Gaara. So that's the first time he was ever hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But no, I had to bring that up because I know that was a part of Naruto. I just thought it was interesting to bring up.
Yeah, so you were talking about how it was like nerdy and shit. And,
yeah.
You know, when it came. So actually, Naruto's jacket, I had that jacket and I wore it.
To school?
Yeah.
The orange one?
Dude, I was made fun of so much. And then on hat day.
Oh, we had students wear the
headbands.
The headbands.
I had every nation's headband.
That's funny.
I also had all the manga up until the Shippuden. So Naruto Shippuden is there's a time gap where it fast forward, and Naruto goes from like a 12-year-old to a 16, 17-year-old.
Oh, okay. And in that time gap, are we just supposed to assume that he trained?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and during the Shippuden, when the episode's like, because Naruto comes back, he's older, he's taller, he's stronger, he has new abilities, and you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And, he goes off with Jiraiya Sensei to train with him, and, and you're just like, what happened during their travels and all that stuff? And so there's a couple of, like prequel episodes, basically they're just filler. To go back and like you see his journey and everything.
Huh.
Yeah, like one of the things. So it's cool. He had an outfit change in the from the orange jacket to then he had like a black and orange, jacket. right?
Oh yeah. No, I never got into
Yeah, so
Naruto like that.
What was cool that episode, the reason why he had to get a new jacket is because when he was training with Jiraiya, he was training so hard for days on end and would only take breaks to sleep and eat. Training so hard that his jacket literally fell off of him because it was just like in shreds.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. You're just like, oh shit, he put in some work. Because Naruto, you know, most anything, like, you know, you look at Iron Man, if you watch Iron Man, he's the hero, and he always comes out on top. He figures it out, right?
Right.
You know, most anything, the main character is like that dude, like he's just a badass, blah, blah, blah. Well, Naruto, he is like literally the bottom rung, worst ninja ever. And he has to train like 4 times as hard as everybody else to catch up.
Okay.
Essentially. So, you know, it's kind of like you're living.
It's an underdog story.
Exactly. Like the whole story is an underdog, and then when he does that training because of how hard he trained, you know, under Jiraiya, and then under they have like these frogs that the frogs were like the first one to be able to manipulate chakra and stuff. He trained under the frogs and everything, and then became a sage. Through all that, all of a sudden he comes back, and he's just like a Billy badass. And it's so fun to watch, you know, live his story, watch it through his eyes, where he loses, nothing ever works out for him, and then, bam, it does, and he still maintains who he is. You know, his compassion for people, his love for people, like especially his friends and stuff like that. So it's really cool.
It comes with the message, like you were talking about at the beginning.
Exactly, and that's honestly like, you know, even through, I hated middle school, man. Middle school was terrible. Dude, terrible, man. I was a short, fat kid that was slow.
Were you into anime in middle school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, I met Anthony and Jacob. I think like, you know, 5th grade, maybe 6th grade or whatever. And that's when I started getting into anime. But the reason why I could relate to it is, you know, where I came from and my upbringing and shit like that wasn't the greatest. And I could relate to Naruto. I'm not an orphan or anything, but Naruto was an orphan.
Yeah.
And he was ostracized from the whole village. No one talked to him, no one cared about him, so he would act out and, you know, do pranks, get in trouble just to get attention, you know, and then he felt like a burden and like all these things, but I could relate to him, and that's what hooked me. You know what I'm saying? And and it meant a hell of a lot to me. And I remember there was like I said, it was a hat day, and you know, middle school hat day, everybody gets to pay $1, you wear a hat or whatever. And so I had the Naruto headband and the jacket. Bro, I was bullied all fucking day, made fun of, all this shit. But then, whenever at lunch I sat down at the table with, you know, all my boys, you know, Jacob, Anthony, and everything, they thought it was cool.
The squad.
Yeah, they were like, dude, that's so cool. And like, you know, they're like, let me wear it real quick, you know, shit like that. It was cool. But in between, you know, classes and even classes I didn't have them in and stuff, like I was literally the nerdy kid that no one fucking liked, and I was the punching bag for everybody. For everybody in middle school. 8th grade year, at the end of 8th grade, going into 9th grade, like, you know, going into my freshman year, I grew, I think 4.5, 5 inches in height, and I put on like 20 pounds of muscle. In that one summer. I literally walked in, everybody was like, oh, yo, what middle school did you go to? Oh, are you not from here? Like, you're a new student or whatever? And I'm like, bro, we had history together.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck? You know, but it was crazy because, like, I could relate to young Naruto in my middle school years, but then in high school, everybody wanted to be cool with me and shit like that because I was taller, I was strong, I had a beard at 14 years old. You know, I wasn't like popular, but I fit in with any kind of clique in high school, and that's the same thing with Naruto, going from Naruto to Naruto Shippuden. Whenever he gets older and he comes back to the village, everybody
fucks with him.
Yeah, and it just related so closely, and I was like, man, this is crazy. But yeah, so that's what really got me into it, and some people just enjoy it. They just like it, you know. Me, it's more of like a personal thing because the lessons that Naruto had to endure and learn as the episodes were coming out, as the manga was coming out, and I was watching it and reading it, you know, in real time, a lot of those lessons correlated with how I was being bullied in middle school.
Yeah.
How I was being treated and everything, you know? So it just kind of matched up for me, and that's why, like, I do have a passion for anime.
Yeah. Okay, so as we wrap this one up, I got the last question. Yeah, might as well give me one too, Stan. Thank you. Do you have like a top 3 like animes? Like, do you have like a top 3 list or like a top 5 of like your all-time favorites to go back and watch if you finish them, or just as of right now?
All-time favorites or like recommendations?
All-time favorites.
All-time favorites. Okay.
Yeah.
All-time.
Because I don't have a top 5 all time. I can name you some that I've watched, that I've liked, but I don't have like a list or anything.
So I wouldn't. I'll truth be told, I wouldn't be able to tell you this is number 1, number 2, number 3. But I do have 5 that like that I absolutely love, and no one can change my mind.
Okay.
If I think you can, fuck you.
If you can't rank them, sure.
Yeah, I can't rank them, but I can name them. Naruto for sure.
Okay.
And that includes the Shippuden, just because, like I said, my attachment to the show. My Hero Academia. That one's awesome. That one's so sick. Demon Slayer, One Piece for sure. Definitely like One Piece. And Cowboy Bebop.
I've seen Cowboy Bebop. I've seen the
Netflix.
I saw the live action.
Dude, okay, so the live action.
But I know a little bit about the story to understand like the basis of the show. It was pretty good. I liked it.
Another live action. Look out for on the 31st of this month. One Piece live action. Watch that. Watch that. Watch that. And if you like that, like the story and stuff like that, I mean, based off just the trailer and like little snippets and stuff like that, it looks pretty good. Right? Somebody who's a super fan or whatever, not a super fan, just a fan of the show who's watched all 1,200 episodes and is caught up.
That sounds like a super fan.
Fuck you. But, like, what I would recommend watching that first, the live action. And then if you like it, then go back and watch the anime. Because I can tell you the live action one is only the first seasonal arc.
Okay.
And if you like the first seasonal arc, the second season, you're gonna love. And the third season just gets better. Fourth season's kind of a flop. And then you get to more where it is now. Man, so good. So good. And the whole reason I like it, before we close out, the whole reason I like it, there is a main story, right? But every island they go to, every person they meet, every adventure they go to, it's a mini story. So it's literally stories within stories, and then also it's not just about Luffy, it's about Luffy and his crew. So each person has a backstory, and Luffy recruits them, and yeah, it's just great. Like, you have the cynical one, Zoro, you have the one that's just greedy with money, Nami, you got the helper that loves everybody, you know, Chopper, you got the womanizer that just wants to, like, please women and shit, you know, Sanji. And then you have Luffy, he's just Luffy. You can't even really explain it. He just does whatever the hell he wants to do because he's the captain. But he also has like this like, he's kind of like me in the sense of never met a stranger. And if he sees you as not the bad guy, like he will, like he's almost died a couple of times helping people that weren't even on his crew. And it's just cool to see that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, try that out first before, because it is intimidating, 1,200 episodes, that's a lot of time. Yeah. But at least it's all entertaining. And if you watch the main story, there's really no filler. Because there's one point where every single side story, side quest, those characters come back into the main story.
Okay.
So if you skip around, you're like, oh, who the fuck is this guy? But anyways, yeah, try the live action. It's August 31st. try that out, and if you like that, you would like the second season, the third season. Like I said, the fourth season is kind of like eh. But now like the fifth and sixth season, like right now, the Wano arc it's awesome. It's dope.
Yeah, like I said before, I don't have like a ranking list. I don't watch anime like that.
Yeah.
But what I have watched and like finished, let's see off the top of my head. I've seen Attack on Titan. I'm up to date on that. I haven't finished it, but like I'm up to date like what happens before all the new stuff came out.
Okay. Yeah.
I just have to go back and watch it.
Remind yourself because it's been like 3 years.
Oh yeah, it's been a minute since it came out. I'm so far fucking behind. Attack on Titan. I really liked Baki. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
The original or the one that the Baki Hanma on?
I've seen the original. I've seen both. I've seen the original, the one where it's just him in the when him and they're just fighting.
Yeah, in the prison. Yeah.
No, Baki Hanma was the one where he fights in prison.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
I've seen all of that new one where they introduce Pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say those two. You put me on Demon Slayer. I'm into that right now. I still have to catch up on that.
Oh, the new season about to drop too.
I'd say that Kuruku's basketball one that I had told you about, the one where they're all in high school, they all have special abilities or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd put that on there.
Come on.
I don't think I have another one, man. Because I can't think off the top of my head of anything that I've watched.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the thing that irritates me is I have to go through bullying and basically oppression for being a nerd and shit, and now it's like cool.
Well, no, for me, like I said, like when I was growing up, the animes, I guess they're not really animes, but whatever. It was like Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I remember getting a little older, Bakugan had came out, and all this other stuff. And by then, when all that came out, I was already on OG Cartoon Network, waiting for Adult Swim to come on with Family Guy and Robot Chicken and shit like that.
Fucking Robot Chicken.
But no, we could go on a fucking tangent with the TV shows.
I could literally talk for like a whole day on anime and everything like that. So, if you want my personal recommendations or whatever, message us. Well, we got Instagram.
Yeah, we got Instagram, we got a Facebook, we got a TikTok.
YouTube.
We're also on YouTube, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's where you could also catch our videos as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like this episode was pretty chill, but if y'all have any recommendations for me to watch on anime, I love them. I love to hear them. Like I said, I'll watch the first 3 and then I'll give you my honest taste on it. But if you want my recommendations for anybody, if you've never watched anime, you watch it all your life, or you're just trying to get into it or whatever.
Yeah.
I got recommendations and stuff. So.
Also, we have the competition going on. I still need followers on Instagram to beat this guy. I still need followers. Instagram at Finish the Keg. I just need the followers. If I get enough to beat him, he's throwing out merch, and if I lose, I have to throw out merch. I already have an idea, but I have an idea of what to throw on something, but it's different.
I'm so confident that I haven't even thought about it because I know you're gonna lose.
Whatever, bro. But I'm trying. I'm really fucking trying. But like I said, Instagram at Finish the Keg. And with that, boys, y'all ready?
All right.
Cheers.
See you next Saturday.
See you later. Peace.